ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 7. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has issued an injunction stopping lawmakers of the People's Democratic Party from reconvening the House of Representatives before the December 3rd adjourned date. Justice Ahmed Mohamed gave the ruling in response to a motion on notice filed by the All Progressives Congress caucus in the House, which urged the court to stop the federal government, the PDP, and their agents from reconvening the House until the adjourned date. The judge said the PDP legislators cannot take a decision to reconvene the House at least until Friday, when the case would come up for hearing. He insists that all parties in the suit must maintain the status quo until November 7. Mohamed also asked the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, and the APC to serve the defendants with a motion on notice and ordered the defendants to come and show cause why all the reliefs being sought should not be granted. Concerned about the security situation in the northeast Nigeria, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is soliciting international support for war against insurgency. He's also worried about the humanitarian situation in the aftermath fall of Mobi, one of the largest towns in the region, to the insurgents. The former vice president said at a news conference in Abuja that the world cannot afford to ignore the country at a time hundreds of thousands of people in the northeast Nigeria
I call upon the international community to help us. I am making a special appeal to countries with sufficient know-how and experience in tackling terrorism to increase their assistance to us. The relief agencies that are already working here should please double their efforts. And all people of goodwill should help in any way they can and do more than they have been doing to alleviate the pain and suffering that we Nigerians face through this insurgency. At a time when we are constantly bombarded with horror stories of ugly events elsewhere in the world, here in West Africa, we are faced with the Ebola epidemic and other trouble spots. I draw your attention now to a humanitarian crisis, which is also a matter of international security. This Boko Haram insurgency has been with us now for several years, but has in the last few days taken a step further towards being a disaster of unimaginable proportions. Hundreds of thousands of people are at risk. Nigeria needs world support. The world must not abandon Nigerians in our time of need.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Movement, PDM, is prepared to offer its platform to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to run for the presidency if he fails to secure the presidential ticket of the All Progressives Congress. PDM National Chairman Bashir Yusuf, however, noted that it is left for the former Vice President to approach the party, not the other way around. However, denies Atiku's involvement in the affairs of the PDM.
Atiku is a candidate for PDM. I think that's a question for Atiku, honestly. It's not a question for PDM because... Yeah, but you see, the law does not allow a political party to stop anyone from running for an office on the platform of the political party. So we are obliged by law, if he wants to run on the platform of our party, to give him the opportunity. It's not by choice, it's by law. So if he wants to come into our party, we can't stop him. The party must be open to all Nigerians. And if he comes, wants to run for election, we can't stop him. We must give him the opportunity to run. If he wins, we have to field him. So it's a matter of law, it's not a matter of choice.
President Goodluck Jonathan has called on clergymen to pray for the peace and stability of Nigeria. President Jonathan, who spoke at the third Bielsa Thanksgiving Day through the governor, Siriaki Dixon, at the Gabriel Okara Cultural Center in Yenagua, called on all Nigerians to pray for the continued peace, unity and stability of the country. The president urged all politicians to know that power comes from God alone and that nobody can get to power unless it is the will of God. Speaking in his own capacity, the state governor, Siriaki Dixon, urged the people in leadership positions to take the people seriously and see themselves as instruments in the hands of God. He also advised those seeking leadership to see it as a drive to serve God, as he is the giver of power. The General Superintendent of the Deeper Christian Life Ministry, William Skumuyi, stressed the need for Nigerians to continually pray for peace and unity of the country, urging Nigerians to appreciate the goodness of God by being selfless. Kaduna State Governor Mukhtar Yero has commended members of the People's Democratic Party across the state on the peaceful conduct of ward congresses to elect delegates for the forthcoming primary elections. Speaking after taking part in the ward congress at his Kaura ward in Zaria local government area, the governor said the peaceful exercise is an indication of the unity and internal cohesion within the party. Yero said reports from across the state indicates that members of the party have once again demonstrated that PDP remains a big, united family. Former Aviation Minister Felix Yat has demanded for the cancellation of the Ward Congress of the People's Democratic Party in Kaduna State. Yat, who recently picked PDP nomination form to contest the governorship election in the state, accused Governor Mukhtar Yero of hijacking the exercise. He alleged that the names of delegates were prepared from the government house, with all the governor's loyalists making the list. Addressing journalists on why fresh Congress must hold in the state, the aggrieved former minister describes the entire Ward Congress exercise, particularly in its Zone 3 senatorial district, as fraudulent and undemocratic. Ahead the scheduled meeting between PDP leaders and members of the party's caucus in the House of Representatives, activist lawyer Festus Keyamo wants the federal lawmakers to set aside party differences to fight off the ongoing encroachment by the executive. In an interview with CoreTV News in Abuja, Keyamo maintains that it is the only way impending chaos can be averted in the nation's democracy. He also noted that Speaker Aminu Tambuwal had every reason to sue the police and the government over the withdrawal of his orderlies.
What we are witnessing is the most grievous abuse of power that we are witnessing in the case of Tambuwal. It's not Tambuwal that's on trial, it is the House that's on trial. The House must insist across party lines that the executive must not interfere in their affairs. If they can gather enough people to remove him the next time the House convenes, for Christ's sake, let them do so. Let them do so, but the federal government should not be hiding behind one finger. Using the police now is like somebody trying to hide behind one finger. Because people know those behind. They know that it is the federal government behind the police.
As the controversies generated by the defection of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, and the withdrawal of his security details by the police continues, the senator representing Rivers Southeast in the National Assembly, Magnus Abe, has told the PDP that it cannot remove the Speaker from his position. Abe says, though the PDP is working around the clock to remove the Speaker, but this will be a very difficult task to achieve, since the task to remove him needs 240 votes, which he believes the PDP may not be able to muster. He, however, called on all Nigerians to get up and reject the move to introduce confusion into the National Assembly and the alleged impunity of the PDP led by the federal government. It's the CoreTV News at 7. We take a break now and we'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
I no longer worry about deodorant stains with Nivea Invisible for black and white deodorant. No white marks on black and no yellow stains on white. My black stays black and white stays white longer. And I stay 48 hours protected. New Invisible for black and white deodorant from Nivea.
Also available, Nivea Men Invisible for black and white deodorant from Nivea Men.
Thank you for being there. And for more news and other information, you can visit our social media platform. On Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter @CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, then news. Respect for the rule of law and effective representation are vital ingredients that will enhance good governance and smooth transition of power in Nigeria. Oluwaseyi Adegoke was at the public lecture organized by the Lagos State chapter of the Enugu Youth Agenda and brought back this report on the lecture aimed at promoting good governance.
The event tagged Agenda for Good Governance and Smooth Transition was put together by the Lagos State chapter of the Enugu Youth Agenda, with the state coordinator of the group, Ima Abugu, saying that youth must come together and pull in the same direction.
We the youth need to come together and get to a forum where our voice must be heard. And I tell you, that voice must be heard.
Chairman of the occasion, Ted Ojimba, says the processes that brings leadership to a nation must not only be seen to be transparent, but must lead to transparent leadership.
Political consciousness is being awoken in our youth. Youth have never participated in politics and they are showing interest today. And I congratulate you because the youth of today is going to be the elders of tomorrow.
For his part, guest speaker at the lecture, Chima Nnanji, says there must be equity in governance.
Good governance involves some cerebral content. You must have some innate ideas about how things can work and how to work out those things that can work. Because by your handing over your sovereignty to this group of people, you should go to bed and sleep.
The organizers call on all Nigerians to work together with the government to realize the aim of good governance and smooth transition of power in the nation come 2015. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The police authorities have inaugurated a technical audit committee to assess assets of the police force. This, according to police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu, is part of steps to use information communication technology in transforming the police into a world-class crime prevention organization. In his address, Inspector General of Police Suleiman Abba enjoined members of the committee to work as a team to achieve the objectives for which it was set up. He also used the occasion to re-echo his desire to transform the police into a leading national, professional and efficient law enforcement organization. The committee is, among others, to audit the current status of technical and technological infrastructure of the police. It is also to assess its current human resources capacity with a view to determining the types of training for its technical personnel. We'll take another break now and we'll be back with stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
I've been foreseeing it as a form of jamboree. It's a normal thing we have been experiencing it in the past. If you look at the Obasanjo regime, they did the same. But what's the outcome of it?
We cannot do without our health. If it's necessary, they should do it.
When you are a small child, your children, they went to a free school, this thing. But now, why they cannot put the money up like that?
The idea of making laws, chopping money over there, you are sending somebody to unknown area to go and fry the Boko Haram. Is it possible?
Because it's their work. they receive. Try and know their problem, what they really want in this country, and settle them.
At this particular period in time, because it will not pay the government.
You can't predict Nigeria. Nigeria, they know their way out.
If they, telling people, say, oh, can't do this, they will follow.
Because the people that we have on ground, what are they actually doing?
This man, Obara, decided before, making Northers go, make Easters stay. Here,
you women are bringing the problem. Women are wearing trousers. The autonomy said that no woman should wear woman's shirt. No man should wear women's shirt. God is annoyed with the people.
The people, only on CoreTV News.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Thank you for being there. A joint mission of the United Nations, African Union and ECOWAS has advised the security forces in Burkina Faso to ensure a smooth transition of power. They also expressed a readiness to work with all the parties for a rapid return to constitutional rule. This was the message representatives of the three organizations passed on to all stakeholders at separate meetings in Ouagadougou between October 31st and November 1st. In the communique issued after the three-day visit, the joint mission also appealed for the restoration of security as well as an end to acts of vengeance and witch hunting in the country. Before leaving Ouagadougou, the diplomats sought safety guarantees for the ousted President Blaise Compaoré and members of his government. The United Nations-backed Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has made a call for stop to be put to the unrestricted use of fossil fuel by the year 2100 if the world must avoid a major climate change catastrophe. The panel, in its latest report, says fossil fuels without capture and storage should be phased out almost entirely by 2100, positing that all of the world's electricity must and can be produced from low-carbon sources. IGPCC Chair Rajendra Pachauri says a rapid phase-out of high-carbon emitting sources of energy is vital to ensure that temperature increases are kept below 2 degrees centigrade by the end of the century. 3 previous reports from the IPCC issued over the past 13 months have all outlined the causes, impacts and the potential solutions to climate change. The synthesis boils the 3 points into one with the sole intention of informing politicians engaged in attempts to deliver a new global treaty on climate change by the end of 2015. And that's it on CoreTV News at 7. Join me again at 9:45 for the primetime news. Thank you for watching. I am Ebunlomo Adekunle.